series, Sugar.
What happened to the rural girl?
She's still there somewhere.
You guys paid a lot of money for Wiz to be here, so you have to get the crowd warmed up.
When you're looking for love.
Do you have a thing for?
When one is not enough.
Choose, because I don't share.
When you have a dream.
I have a plan.
How far will you go? Sugar, love, money.
But before we take leave of you, here are the stories making our headlines. I am Ajay Misise. The Vice President, Dr. Ajah Aissatunjai Saidi, Monday presided over the official launching of the $35 million World Bank-funded West Africa Regional Communication Infrastructure Program. The commissioning of the project, that goes by the acronym WASEP, marks a phenomenal shift in the Gambia's quest for effective and reliable communications. The Secretary General of the United Nations World Tourism Organization on Monday paid a courtesy call on the Vice President and Women's Affairs Minister. Taleb Rifia was accompanied to Ajah Dr. Aissatunjai Saidi's office by the Tourism and Culture Minister. 42 newly promoted officers of the Gambia Armed Forces today swore to execute their duties and responsibilities as prescribed by law. The program that saw the officers receive insignias that marked their new ranks was presided over by the Vice President and Chairperson of the National Security Council. Ministers from member countries of the Non-Aligned Movement on Women's Advancement recently met in Doha, Qatar, but another high-level meeting is in the offing. Activists are warming up for the convergence of the Commission on the Status of Women due later next week in New York. Deliberations by delegates from the 45 member states are expected to focus largely on gains made and factors hindering greater success. The Doha Declaration is expected to form part of the agenda at the United Nations. The newly refurbished Fajara Craft Market Complex was on Saturday inaugurated by the Minister of Tourism and Culture, Fatu Masjid Njai. The cost of renovation works on the facility that has 48 stalls is pegged at $5.5 million. Celebrants marking NGO Week ended the program with a call for non-governmental organizations, the media, government, and other stakeholders to close ranks. The call was made after deliberations on the significance of technology as a viable development tool. The Gambia Lowland Development Project has started reclaiming more than 1,000 hectares of land lost to salinity. The new initiative that has the backing of the National Environment Agency is expected to improve productivity and increase rice production in the West Coast region. To other news, with days to go before voters in Senegal cast their ballot in the February 26 presidential polls, tension is running high in the West African country. The recent rise in violence precipitated by the Constitutional Court's decision to accept President Ouattara's bid to contest a third term has worried many in the country. Meanwhile, the Senegalese Minister of the Interior, Ousmane Gam, has called for calm ahead of the polls while apologizing on the Mende Tijaniya Brotherhood for a police attack on a congregation in the capital. Tension is running high between Iran and Western powers over Tehran's nuclear program. Tehran has announced it will cut off oil supplies to France and Britain in anticipation of the two Western powers slamming off economic sanctions against Iran. Iran, though, remains defiant, sending two of its warships to the coast of Syria, close to the corridors of influence of its major rival in the region, Israel. You can also follow that story and other GRTS programs live on our website, which is at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio live. Well, that brings us to the end of the news in summary, which also marks the end of transmission. Thanks for the pleasure of your company and do have a pleasant morning.